It's time for the Objectively Wrong mock prediction draft episode. Year 2023. I don't even know. I didn't title this before.
This is the first time he's done this.
Yeah, I'm already. This is take two.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Objectively Wrong prediction mock draft episode presented by the Next Man Up. As always, I'm John. That's 15. We got hit with a bunch of random news all at once. It'll come. I'm not going to talk about it till the end of the show.
Yeah,
because that's kind of where it slates. But first things first, we're done. We've made the mock draft.
This time for real.
It is 10 o'clock at night, the night before the draft. 24 hours from now, the first round will be over. What does that mean? Well, you will have likely heard this episode Thursday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Then the draft happens. Then we're going to shoot you a first round reaction video episode. Then we're going to watch rounds 2 and 3. And then rounds 4 through 7. And then we'll shoot you a reaction episode of the whole draft a few days later, next week sometime. First things first, can we just get Aaron Rodgers the fuck out of the way now?
Sure.
It happened. The man was traded to the Jets. I'm taking a much more aggressive approach to the start of this episode than I did before, I'm realizing. And really, the only thing, we don't need to talk about this draft. We don't. We don't know this trade, rather. We do need to talk about this draft. The big move is that the Jets and Packers flipped picks 13 and 15. Green Bay now picks 13. Jets pick 15. Do we even need any further ado?
It happened. It finally happened. We can move on. Everyone else in the world has. Zach Wilson has not moved on.
Guys, we've got a draft to get through.
Let's get to the fun part.
Let's get to why we're here. Remember, 31 picks this year. Miami was naughty. 31 picks, 31 players, 31 selections, half of which will bust. Do. If we have to do a third take, I'm not doing it again.
Okay. With the first pick in the NFL draft, the Carolina Panthers select quarterback Bryce Young, Alabama.
The worst kept secret in the world.
Until tomorrow.
So, we have a term here at Next Man Up.
Yep.
Called getting Baker Mayfielded.
The Tampa Bay Lightning know that.
Jesus Christ. I wasn't ready for that one. Back in the day, it was a 2018 draft, I think now.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. And Tina and I are in college.
Back in our infancy.
Yeah, back when we should have started this show.
We still had beards back then.
Don't we both?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Mine's bigger now than it used to be. Anyway, back in our infancy, Baker Mayfield was not supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. And then suddenly, when the world needed him most, he vanished. No. When the season when draft day began, literally morning of, all of a sudden Baker Mayfield was going to go number 1. Nobody knew. Ebteen knew a bit after I did.
I was asleep.
Ebteen was asleep.
I did not have morning class.
I had a morning class with Alex. I hope you listen to the show. If not, you're a bitch.
My roommate does not listen to my own show.
Former roommate.
Okay. Once you've shared a room.
Once you've shared a room,
you are tied forever.
What is a room? Mind you, that Symphony of the Night line. What is a man? A miserable is a pile of secrets. How about you? But
that explains my relationship with my freshman year roommate.
Right. Oh God, yeah. So anyway, the whole thing goes to hell. in a handbasket the morning of the draft. And I'm in this class not paying attention because it's the morning of the draft. Let's be real, I'm not paying attention. But he had an attendance rule. You had, if you missed like 3 classes, you were like, I don't know, fucking spanked. I don't know. I'm out of ideas. I don't know what he did.
And you were in this class with Alex.
I was.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see this news break, and I look at Alex and like, where's Epteen? And Alex, like, I don't know, he's probably still in bed. I was like, I need to get there now. And I left the class and sprinted across campus. And I called my mom because she, before, Mama, why is Baker going first?
One.
So my mom was the earliest predictor that I'd heard of Baker being going first. Not to discount the fact that I years before, 2 years early, said Baker's going to go number 1 in the draft. My mom literally was like, he won the Heisman, he's going number 1. That's just the way it's going to work. And she doesn't say that for every Heisman winner, but it was just something she knew was going to happen. So that's what happened. I call her. She's like, yeah, not surprised, whatever. So I get to Epteen's apartment, knock the door off the hinges, not really. And I might have. That door was pretty crappy. But
Not as crappy as the couch.
no, the couch was mine, though. I just gave it to you guys broken. It was already broken, but I gave it to you. So I knocked the bitch down. I show up. I knock the bitch down. And I wake Epteen up like, Baker's going number 1. And Epteen just looked at me like I was a ghost.
I was probably still asleep.
You were probably still asleep. But then at some point you kind of blinked and then you woke back up and you were like, wait, what? And the reason I bring up the story, because now the story is over, Epteen and I both very badly would like the first pick to be Anthony Richardson. Like we both want that to happen. Because it would be so goddamn crazy to watch Anthony Richardson become the number 1 pick in a trade scenario where the Panthers, I guess, broke the bank to move up there. And what I love about it is just the timing. I know I said this to Epteen when it first happened. A lot of other people, I'm not going to say I was the only one that said it. The timing of when the Panthers made the trade was very sus and very indicative of wanting to take Anthony Richardson after his combine performance.
Combine and interviews. That went crazy.
And he interviewed very well. Apparently passed the S2 very well. That will not be the first time you hear us say that.
I don't know. What's your opinion on the S2?
I need to take it, is my opinion.
My opinion is I'm not ready to trust it, but I am ready to wait like 3 more years and then start seeing if I actually trust it.
Yeah, this mock might indicate something different. Anyway.
What?
This mock, the more I look at our mock, the more I'm like, wait a minute, this is weird. But anyway, the point is, Bryce Young is almost certainly going number 1 in tomorrow's draft. It's as sure a thing as you could ask for in an NFL draft. Just that simple. With the second pick.
No, I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
You know what I find? So many parallels. With that draft in particular, right? Because it was very quiet up until that moment. It's been very quiet with this. Like the last couple of nights.
Fair warning, everybody. We're not overly confident we're going to do especially well this year. Because I don't think anybody's doing especially well this year. Daniel Jeremiah's final mock, honestly, looks like a fever dream. He has the Texans back-to-backing picks 2 and 3. That doesn't happen very often. I can't say it. I could theoretically, they've got the capital to do it. I just don't see that as a world where anything's happening of the sort.
And also that year, there was a running back that was like a can't miss prospect.
Right.
There were multiple quarterbacks going.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone had different opinions on the quarterbacks. This year's a lot of parallels.
There's a lot of parallels. It's a similar draft. That draft was fun as hell. This draft is fun as hell.
Well, let's move on to number 2.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL draft, we have the Houston Texans staying here and selecting Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech. It's a new one.
This feels right.
But it's gaining so much ground. It's gaining so much ground. If you told me a year ago that Will Anderson was not going to be the number 1 edge rusher off the board, I would have hit you in the head.
I would have agreed with you.
The team might have agreed with you.
Yeah.
But again, if you had asked me 4 years ago whether or not I thought Chase Young was a bust, I would have said yes. And his option was declined today. So I might have just been damn right.
That comes up.
That'll come up again.
Why Tyree Wilson? Why not Will Anderson?
He's big.
Funny thing about the Texans, right? They tend to go for the prospect that has a foot issue and injuries. They took Stingley last year. They take Tyree Wilson this year. And it's D'Amico Ryans. D'Amico Ryans. He's going to fix this defense, guys, if you look at it. I was going to pick number 3 because it's the best pick.
With the third pick in the 2023 NFL draft, we have a trade.
Oh, yeah.
The Arizona Cardinals have moved down and pick swapped with Tennessee. And the Tennessee Titans select quarterback Anthony Richardson out of Florida.
Let's give our reasoning first. Who is Arizona's GM, John?
I had his name right here, and I just lost it, and now I have it back. Last name Ozenfort.
Where is he from, John?
Tennessee.
Who does he have strong connections with, John?
Vrabel.
Vrabel and Arthur Smith. But, I mean,
yes,
that's different, yeah.
Yeah.
He also, for some reason, has connections with Ziegler and then McDaniels, obviously. So Raiders might also be in play. But Tennessee's aggressive this year. They've been making calls to go up for a quarterback. And we like Anthony Richardson for Vrabel. What do you think about the fit, though?
Well, he's got the opportunity to wait behind Tannehill. The Malik Willis experiment was obviously a failure.
Who we already know they're trying to trade.
Who, Tannehill?
Yeah. And it's not happening this year, but what about next year?
But potentially. There's not a lot. Listen, the Tennessee Titans, I expect the Titans to make multiple moves tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily not necessarily a Derrick Henry trade, but I expect them to make multiple moves. And I'm not going to be shocked by anything they do because I recognize that the team itself knows that I think they know they're not quite ready. Ozenfort in Arizona, Monty Ozenfort definitely looked. If I were Ozenfort, the name of the game is quantity. The name of the game is stockpiling. Moving DeAndre Hopkins hasn't happened yet. Moving Budda Baker hasn't happened yet. They probably both will at some point. But it probably isn't going to happen tomorrow. Good. You usually don't see superstars move on draft night, but what do I know? The Eagles traded for A.J. Brown mid-round. So it can happen.
Keep building on top.
I jumped through the roof when that happened.
So Anthony Richardson's the second quarterback taken in our prediction mock.
Yes, he is.
Say that last year.
Last year, that would never have happened.
Let's move on to Indianapolis.
With the fourth pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select quarterback Will Levis from Kentucky.
This is my least favorite pick in the entire.
This should indicate that this is not a what we would do draft.
Yeah, not at all.
This is just every bit and piece of sound we're hearing is saying Levis to the Colts. We've heard very little else. I will say, Peter Schrager, and we'll mention him again shortly when we get a couple more picks down. Peter Schrager is on record saying Levis at 2 to the Texans is very possible. The draft tomorrow hinges very greatly on what the Texans decide to do.
Yeah.
Because the Texans obviously could go quarterback. Obviously. But it feels as if the only QB they would do it to is Levis.
And that's just insane.
It's insane to me.
Yeah.
So steer into the D'Amico Ryans' new head coach scheme and pick defense.
And they know they'll be picking in the top 5 again next year.
Yeah, and there's 2 QBs coming out next year that look pretty decent.
Yeah. So we kind of, with Houston, we took the idea that the coach is like, we're going to build the team first, and then we're going to pick the quarterback. Which,
honestly,
intelligent.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah, we don't do that for every pick here.
If the Houston Texans don't want to take a quarterback because they don't like this class, to me, that's a good reason.
Yeah.
If they take Will Levis because they think he could be something they like, but they don't already, I think it's a bad pick. By all means, Houston, if you like what you've seen out of Will Levis, take him.
Yeah,
he might be good.
I'm of the opinion that waiting on a quarterback because you might like the one next year more is stupid.
You never know what a year can do.
Yeah.
Hell, it ruined Matt Barkley and Spencer Rattler.
Can you imagine if Matt Barkley came out? Oh, my God.
He would have been number 2.
He would have been... Oh,
that would have been Luck, Barkley, RG3.
That would have been an insane bust.
It would have been a sick bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to pick 5.
With the 5th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks trade out. And they trade down to 10, and the Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle, Georgia.
Let's give our reasoning first.
I'm going to say a couple of things on this one. Number one, we're of the opinion, based off everything we've heard, that the Seattle Seahawks may be interested in Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
In this mock, he's gone already.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jeremiah is on record saying half the league thinks the Seahawks taking Jalen Carter, and the other half of the league thinks there's no chance that's the pick. That couldn't give me less information.
Mm-hmm.
This is a weird pick because nobody knows what direction they could go because there's 5 directions they can go. Now, I can already hear fans, or I'm sorry, listeners of this show.
Who hopefully are fans.
I hope you're fans. Hope you're just not hate listening. If you are, yeah, go ahead and hate listen.
Yeah.
Still listens.
Yeah. I love you. Fuck you.
I love you. Eat shit. Jalen Carter at 5 to Philly. Jalen Carter today was interviewed and was asked, the Eagles are there at 10. I'm sorry, if you're still there at 10, do you expect the Eagles to take you? He said yes. We jumped into a draft pick simulation, a mock draft simulator, and attempted to produce a trade in which the Eagles would be able to move from 10 to 5 without utilizing pick number 30 in the trade. And it is possible. It is possible. In my world, I think that's how the Eagles would be willing to do this. To go to 3 would take the 30, almost assuredly. So that's why we had them do this. Seattle would only move out in this scenario based on 2 things. Anthony Richardson would still have to be there. Or, I'm sorry, Anthony Richardson would have to be gone. And we're operating on the belief that the latter of Daniel Jeremiah's belief of half the league thinks they don't want him is true.
There's also one thing we haven't talked about yet, and it's not getting much media attention. Except for Sports Illustrated made a fantastic article about it. The Seattle Seahawks might have to move down.
Seahawks have no money.
They're currently $3 million over.
$3 million over, and that's including draft cap.
And you know how you save $3 million?
You move down 5 spots.
5 to 10. I think you save $2 million right there.
You save $2.5 million.
Yeah.
It's substantial to have this problem. They've got a problem right now, and Seattle knows they have a problem right now. John Schneider's on record saying which is on the money. He knows it. Mm-hmm. He's right. And yeah, it's not ideal. You know, imagine they were paying a quarterback right now. They'd be in hell. Now, if Seattle can afford people, and I'm sorry, if New Orleans can afford people, anybody can.
Yeah. But Seattle doesn't have the ability to restructure.
Seattle has no restructurability top to bottom. So they're in a tough spot. They're in kind of a weird area. They've got a year where they're in this odd spot. Seattle's just, it's almost bad for Seattle that Denver played so poorly because that's where this pick is from. And it just didn't line up with what they were able to accomplish. So anyway, Philly's able to reap that benefit and jump up and take Jalen Carter. And yes, based off of everything we've heard, there's a very real possibility Will Anderson is not in the top 5.
And Seattle will move down to 10. Don't worry, Seattle fans. You still end up with a good player.
You're gonna hear your name a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Let's go to number 6. The Detroit Lions at pick 6 select Devon Witherspoon, corner out of Illinois.
I think I made it pretty clear during our player rankings. This very well may be my personal favorite corner in this draft. Devon Witherspoon is becoming a unanimous Detroit Lion in mocks.
Yeah.
This almost feels like the pick has been made. Witherspoon getting out of the top 10 is not going to happen. Witherspoon beating the top 6 is probably not going to happen.
It may happen, though.
It may. It may.
Witherspoon's floor might literally be pick 8.
Right. Witherspoon is in the 6 to 8 range, but everybody has him at 6 right now. Every little bit of reporting says 6.
You just traded Jeff Okudah. Slide in Devon Witherspoon. All right, with pick 7. John, you're going to be talking for this one.
I'm going to be talking for this one because at this point, it made no sense otherwise.
With pick 7, the Las Vegas Raiders select
CJ Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State. We went back and forth on this one.
Yeah.
At least I did. Mainly because a team kind of recognizes the favoritism it probably sounds like.
I didn't make this pick.
He didn't. Based on...
I just gave him the information.
I asked him explicitly for all the beat information he could give me. Based on that information, after combing it over and considering alternatives, if in this scenario, it looks like it'll be CJ Stroud.
Let's talk about the key ones.
That's not to say I think it should be, but it does sound that way.
Let's talk about the key information that swayed John. There are 2 quarterbacks in this draft, apparently, that the Raiders are willing to move up for. The first one is Bryce Young. So if our Baker Mayfield, Anthony Richardson thing happens,
look for the Raiders at 2.
Oh, they will sell the house to go up to 2, in my opinion. And the other one was CJ Stroud. What else? You think logically?
I want to get Bakered so hard. I really do.
Just for the fun of it.
I'm okay going 0 for 31. It'll be so goddamn funny.
What else? The Raiders, you would think, need to build up that offensive line.
They need to build a lot of things.
Logically, right? Well...
You got 12 picks, though.
Yeah. Skoronski, there's been nothing. Nothing since months ago.
Met with him.
Paris Johnson, there's very, very
They've done very little.
Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson, there's a lot more on Tyree Wilson than there is on Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Whether or not that might just be, checking the medicals, you can decide. Will Anderson's still available. He could very much be the pick.
Absolutely. And honestly, in my world, should be.
He'd be a great team up with Max Crosby.
It'd be a ridiculous pass rush.
But John
still need some tackles, but
this draft is pretty deep.
In the mid rounds.
So we made this pick, and it could have been Will Anderson. That's all. It's 50-50 in my opinion.
It's 50-50. It's as true to 50-50 as it could be. The fulcrum for me was that point of it's Bryce Young or CJ they would trade up for.
Also, let me be perfectly clear. Someone is trying to make CJ fall.
Yes.
Someone is clearly trying to make CJ.
Clearly, there is an organized effort here to make CJ Stroud slip a little.
Oh, yeah. Very
because in the last couple of days, the S2, which is the brand new equivalent, semi-equivalent of the Wonderlic, which is kind of no longer used, it was confirmed that CJ Stroud tested so poorly on it that
he has to say that he's smart.
that he has to come out and say that he's smart enough. I didn't like his answer, I'll be honest.
By the way, I have an issue with this S2 thing. Apparently, prospects aren't taking it at the same time. Apparently, apparently some prospects are taking it at 11 p.m. at night. Why are you taking that test then? You're not going to get a good result.
That's not a great look.
Yeah. And also, multiple quarterback prospects, Bryce Young scored phenomenally. He's the highest ever. He's taken the test multiple times.
I think Levis tested like crazy too.
Will Levis scored a 93 out of 99.
Anthony Richardson scored really well.
79.
79.
But
CJ scored an 18.
Reportedly.
Which is bad. It's really bad. And I'll tell you, reportedly, and then somebody came out and said, no, the score is wrong. And then CJ,
the owner of S2.
The owner of S2. And then CJ Stroud came out today and said, like, yeah, scores don't even matter though. It's like, okay.
Yeah, he's like, I don't play.
I'm not a test taker.
Yeah,
no, the I don't play school thing was Cardale Jones.
Okay.
But that's the comp that people are making, another Ohio State washout quarterback. So, listen, I understand you don't have to be a test taker. They're not giving you a test for no reason, though.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna flunk it that badly, I understand having a bad day on a test, but if you're having that bad a day on a test, it's not a bad day.
There's also the owner said a lot of the test scores are actually not even the most up to date test score.
Right.
Okay.
There's too much weird going on with this test.
Here's my opinion on S2. It's too early for me to call it credible. I am willing to wait 3 to 5 more years, and if it still stacks up well, I'll buy it. But all the information we looked up, apparently this test is you're on a computer screen for 45 minutes and you're reacting to stimulus. That doesn't give me much confidence. But I am willing to wait because what was it called before? The
Wonderlic.
Wonderlic. The Wonderlic did have value. It just didn't have it had value for extreme scores. Right. It didn't really have value for the middle scores.
No.
But it definitely needed to be replaced. Whether or not CJ Stroud actually scored that low, whether or not it matters, you'll only find out once he plays.
Yeah, there's nothing else to say on it. Without knowing more about S2, there's nothing.
Yeah, John wants to take it.
Oh, I'm going to take it. I'm going to find out how much it costs to take it, and then I'm going to do it.
Oh, it costs thousands.
I'm going to find out. I am going to find out.
Let's go to Atlanta. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to pick 8.
Well, it is Atlanta. They were Atlanta before. With the 8th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Will Anderson, edge rusher out of Alabama.
Great.
You have to do it.
Yeah.
There's no analysis here. If he's there at 8 and you're Atlanta and you haven't gotten a sack in 6 years, you need to draft him.
In our opinion.
What the fuck is wrong with Atlanta's pass rush? Fix it, goddammit. This is not hard.
In our opinion, pick 8 is when you should start looking out for Bijan.
Yes. From everything we've heard, this is a Peter Schrager report. Bijan Robinson is selected anywhere from 8 to 31. Running back.
Where's Jahmyr Gibbs? What was the range? It was like
20 to 31. Yeah.
So at pick 9, the Chicago Bears, after a trade earlier
with Carolina,
will select Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle, Ohio State.
They don't have a left tackle. There's not enough. They do, but don't. I know that a lot of people are like souring on Tevin Jenkins, even though you and I both really liked him coming out of OK State.
And even that, isn't he playing right tackle for them?
He is. Yeah. If you're going to give Justin Fields an honest chance,
he needs help.
Give him an O-line. Like, you got to give him an honest chance.
You got a wide receiver in the trade. Go get the O-line now.
Right. We thought about wide out here.
Oh, we really did.
And there have been discussions regarding a few wide receivers going earlier than people think.
Mm-hmm. Earlier than they deserve.
We don't think they should.
Yeah.
But Okay, it's reflected.
This is not a what we would do.
No, it's reflected. I'll say that it is reflected.
At pick 10, the Seattle Seahawks will now take Peter Skoronski, offensive guard from Northwestern.
Stay tuned on Seattle.
Yeah.
We're not done. Spoiler alert.
But I think this is a great pick. Build offensive line.
It's great value.
Yeah.
My opinion, best O lineman in the draft. Listen, I understand the qualms people have with taking a guard very high.
I don't think I consider 10 very high.
It's
Inside
high enough.
the top
It's
10.
high. It's high enough for people to be concerned about a guard.
Yeah.
Quentin Nelson went number 6. Quentin Nelson was a unicorn. I'm not sitting here and pretending like Peter Skoronski is on par with Quentin Nelson. What I will tell you is, if you recall last year, I was a big fan of Tyler Linderbaum.
Mhm.
I'm a bigger fan of Peter Skoronski. Bit bigger. Not a ton, but I like this guy. I like this guy maybe this tiny little bit less than I like Landon Dickerson, which is honestly one of my proudest selections. Because even you were like, he's got 16 injuries. And I'm like, I do not care. Because every time I saw him take a snap, he was dominating. Peter Skoronski dominates guys. Yeah, he's been washed out. I'm not going to say he's a perfect guard. He's the best guard by far in this draft. Best offensive lineman in this draft. Good pick.
On pick 11, with the pick they got from Tennessee, the Arizona Cardinals select Bijan Robinson, running back.
Let me ask you something, listeners. Doesn't it just sound like Kyler Murray's running back is Bijan Robinson?
Yeah.
Doesn't it just like feel like that's the way it is?
Yeah. They need a running back bad.
Like Bijan's going to be like pretty good for a bad Arizona team. You know what's going to be great about this though?
What?
Bijan doesn't have an O-line. So he'll be fine.
Listen, the reason we were very comfortable with making this pick was because the O-lineman went right before.
We're comfortable making this pick because it's what's left for Arizona. Yes, they could take Christian Gonzalez. Yes, they could take a wide receiver. Both are mocked. Have them mocked. But this is something that makes sense based on all the information. And you have to pay attention to all the information, not just the information you want to have happen.
At pick 12, with the Houston Texans' second first-round pick, D'Amico Ryans goes with Chris Gonzalez, corner out of Oregon. We leaned heavily on the idea that D'Amico Ryans is going to fix the defense first.
Now, I'm going to divulge a little bit of our secrets.
Okay.
Peter Schrager.
Peter Schrager.
Everybody loves Peter Schrager. Everybody out here loves Peter Schrager. Well, here's what he said this evening.
Okay.
He's got both running backs in the first round. 100%. Stay tuned. He's got some receivers that are going to be in a range. We'll discuss that shortly. He is Witherspoon to Detroit, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And he has Tennessee making calls. Ladies and gentlemen, that is reflected here. And it was reflected before. Next pick, however, is something reflected by everybody. And it's the pick we're definitely the surest of.
We had this written down, though, for a while, and I kept on hearing it. I'm like, oh, wow, we were right.
With the 13th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Dalton Kincaid just in time for Aaron Rodgers to not fucking be there.
This is the biggest fuck you I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Dalton Kincaid, tight end, Utah. He's our tight end one. He's a lot of people's tight end one. There is a lot of conversation that Green Bay likes him and Michael Mayer. Take your pick. Most of the mocks have Dalton.
And listen, Jordan Love, you really need to figure out whether or not Jordan Love is your quarterback, because next year has two as of right now that are going to be top 3 picks
easily.
And Green Bay is weirdly built where the offense is bad,
Not good.
but good.
The opposite of good.
And the defense, it's pretty well built.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's not good, but it's fine.
They haven't had a tight end for years. Dalton Kincaid fixes that.
No, they've had Mercedes Lewis.
They haven't had a tight end for years. Dalton Kincaid fixes that.
Robert Tonyan.
New England Patriots at pick 14 will select Jackson Smith Njigba.
According to Peter Schrager.
We had this locked down as a wide receiver for a while.
He's in the 10 to 20 range. That's the theory.
And they just lost Jacoby Myers. They need a wide receiver even before that.
For those people that live in Los Angeles area, there's a law firm called Jacoby and Myers.
Really? That's so funny.
Yeah. Spelled the same way, too.
Do
with that what you will.
New England makes sense for a wide receiver. If Mac Jones is going to have any hope of keeping that job, honestly, he needs wide receivers.
Yeah. With the 15th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Darnell Wright, offensive tackle, Tennessee. I'm gonna make one thing clear and one thing only. Joe Douglas is doing a lot of homework on the front five. A lot of it. Tons. like an uncomfortable amount.
He made dedication. He dedicated his life to offensive linemen this year.
If you are over 295 pounds and play on offense, Joe Douglas knows where you live. Joe Douglas knows everything about you. Joe Douglas knows your birthstone, your star sign. Those are kind of the same things. He knows your favorite food. He knows your password. He knows your social. He knows everything about you. Run. He's coming. But Darnell Wright.
Good pick.
You got to protect that old bastard anyway.
Yeah, he can barely see. Seattle. We said we'd come back to you.
You're back, bitches.
Washington picks at number 16, except they don't.
So here's why.
The Seattle Seahawks move up to select Hendon Hooker, quarterback out of Tennessee.
So something we're hearing league-wide, and it gave Epteen, a mild seizure.
I was happy.
Sam Howell.
Oh, that part. I was sad.
Washington seems content for the year with Sam Howell.
If that doesn't tell you we want Drake May, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I'm not oh my gosh.
Actually, you should be so happy.
Oh, I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled. Washington wasn't a threat anyway, but now I'm really thrilled, just because Heineke's not there anymore. So Seattle comes up here, takes a quarterback. There's a few things that go into this. If not Anthony Richardson, Hendon Hooker.
Actually, yeah, I'm pretty confident. Those are the only two.
This goes into the finances again of Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
But it also goes into the finances of Geno Smith. Geno Smith's contract is very cuttable at the end of this year. At the end of this coming season. His cap hit this year is $10 million. His cap hit next year is $31 million. Cutting him saves 13. 1 year of Hendon Hooker behind Geno Smith, and then let Geno run with it. He's highly mature, highly intelligent, highly athletic. Yes, there appear to be some concerns league-wide about the offense Tennessee was running. But the more we hear about this, the more we start to think Hendon Hooker is going to go in this first round and potentially in the top 20.
Oh, I'm very confident Hendon Hooker's a first-round pick.
There you go. It's amazing to go from 1 year with one QB in the first round to a year with 5.
Oh, yeah.
4 of which in the top 7.
And one of them shouldn't be in the first round.
It happens. Anyway, this deal doesn't get done unless the reporting that Washington's okay with Howell is accurate.
Yeah.
We believe it is. With the 17th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Nolan Smith, edge rusher out of Georgia.
Now, let me explain this.
Go for it.
Because originally this pick for us was Lucas Van Ness.
It was.
And Pittsburgh has done a lot of homework on Lucas Van Ness. But there was reporting this morning that Nolan Smith will not get past the Steelers at 17. And we agree edge rusher is a hole. Is it the one we would fill? No. We would look at offensive line.
Everything I would do, everything in my bones, if I were running the Pittsburgh Steelers, says I need to draft an offensive lineman. Now, they signed Isaac Somalo in this offseason during free agency. That's a hell of a step.
Yeah.
But golly, you can't be done there.
They had nothing before this.
They need an O-line badly.
But maybe they'll go for it in the middle rounds.
I'm going to pull up their draft picks real quick because I do need to kind of know where they can do things with it. They have 3 picks in the top 50.
They could do it there.
They have a 1, 2 2s, and a 3, all in the top 80. The 2 2s, obviously, the first 2 is the first pick of the second round because of the Chase Claypool trade. Thanks, Chicago. And then they pick again 17 picks later, pick 49. Pick 32 is going to be an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
One of them is going to be pass rush. What I am so confident in this. First round, Pittsburgh's taking either pass rush or O-line. Second round, they're taking the other one. That's what you have to do. The only wild card is the Joey Porter tie to Pittsburgh. That is the only wild card. Why am I getting a phone call? I'll answer that later. So
just get Baker and I'll check.
There we go. On to the next one with the 18th pick, moving right along. The Detroit Lions select Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame. It's a funny one.
It feels like it's going to happen, though, right?
The running theory is that these 2 tight ends are going up here. They're coming inside the top 20. We can't dispute that. We like them both, too. I just don't like how this guy gets out of a 3-point stance. I can't stand it, in fact. I actually fucking hate it. But there you go. They need a tight end. And who better than the 1B of the draft? Why wait? You took Devin Witherspoon and Michael Mayer. That's a good first round. That's a really good first round. Hell yeah, Detroit.
With pick 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Zay Flowers, wide receiver, Boston College.
Yeah, I mean, I fucking guess.
I don't understand this.
Neither of us do.
The Buccaneers have done the most homework I have seen on wide receiver. And we were between Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison. And they've done a hell of a lot of work on them. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But listen, they missed out on the quarterbacks.
They did.
And it would have been an easy pick. This is why we have Seattle actually moving up to go get a quarterback.
To get over Tampa. Washington being okay with the quarterback position allows Seattle to jump with them. Sure, they can do it with Pittsburgh or Detroit, but the Washington move just felt more organic.
And Detroit might want a quarterback.
They could. There's no reason Detroit doesn't. With the 20th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Lucas Van Ness, edge rusher, Iowa.
Can I just say something first, really quickly?
Please.
I want to throw some shit. I want to talk some shit.
Gotta love that.
Walter Football has been a staple of draft coverage for years.
Decades.
We use them too.
Everybody uses them.
Yeah. The fact that they log every visit for prospects is incredibly helpful.
Insanely. It's a godsend.
What's my problem with Walter football, John?
And hey, Walter, you are still using a former team name of Washington, and it's not football team. They've changed their name twice, and you haven't.
It's just lazy.
For reference, Charlie Campbell, another member of that website, has changed it. Why haven't you?
It's just lazy.
It's pure laziness.
Anyways,
I wonder if he's changed the Raiders to if they still say Oakland. I don't know for sure, but it's a bad look, Walt. Anyway, Lucas Van Ness.
Washington selects Lucas Van Ness, edge rusher.
Big man, big potential.
Chase Young got his fifth-year option denied.
Hey, guys, remember I called him a bust? You
Not
remember?
only that,
I remember.
Chase Young's backups are not that great, sometimes injured. Go get Lucas Van Ness.
It's amazing. The Washington Commanders defensive ends went from wow, this pass rush is crazy to who are you people?
And then meanwhile, their defensive tackles are just wow.
The tackles are crazy. They're just paid a lot of money. With the 21st pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Tenant Chargers select Myles Murphy, defensive lineman, Clemson.
This isn't a pick I'm very much a fan of, but I understand it.
Yeah, if you look at the Chargers depth chart and you look at defensive tackles, it's got the same amount of talent as Brandon Staley does at clock management.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing. Huh?
Coaching in general.
Man. Chargers, when are you going to move again? It's like, you're wasting everyone's time.
I should have been in LA, man.
I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Nobody in this city likes you.
You're the Clippers.
No, they're not even that good. The Clippers have attendance. These guys don't have that. It's amazing because a team with a player like Justin Herbert on it can't draw viewership. How pathetic is that? Sell the team. From now on, anytime we have a Chargers discussion, it starts with sell the team.
Can we do the same for the Raiders?
He never will, though.
I can pray.
God isn't listening. Clearly. Anyway, let's go. So Myles Murphy. I feel like we ignored Myles Murphy. Myles Murphy was a top 10 prospect at one point. I saw early mocks where he was a top 5.
And honestly, I'm not too hot on him.
Yeah, he's far lower than he was. After we did the tape on him, it's like, okay, I get why he fell.
Late one is still fine. Myles Murphy feels like an early second round player to me.
With upside.
Yeah, with upside. The question is, will he capture his potential? Chargers are a pretty good team to see it.
Yeah, but no one's going to watch. So
Baltimore.
That's the beauty of the Chargers. If you draft a bust, no one will notice.
Yeah, I have their previous bust defensive tackle.
Who is it?
Oh, I forgot it. Not Jeffrey Simmons.
No, I know who it is.
Yeah.
Here,
I got it.
Go ahead. It's going to bother me if you don't pull it. Yeah, it's going to bother me. While you do that, I'll do Baltimore. With the 22nd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select Jordan Addison.
Jerry Tillery,
thank you. Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC.
I hate this pick.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Mainly because every mock in the world has the passing go to the Giants.
You have Jordan Addison. You've traded Jordan Addison. You picked up another Jordan Addison.
Stop drafting Jordan Addison.
Stop it.
Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown, now literal Jordan Addison. Just stop it. He doesn't. Lamar Jackson doesn't like you. You signed Odell Beckham. Congratulations. You need another receiver. I get it. For what reason? So you still can't throw the ball to him? I don't understand. You have so many other problems. Fix those. But anyway, this appears to be the way it is. Addison, Zay, and JSN appear to be the first three receivers off the board, and they seem to all be going within the top. The reality is, it keeps saying top 20-ish. We're going with top 25, and that's where they are. With the 23rd pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Deonte Banks, cornerback, Maryland.
This could very much be Baltimore's selection.
Absolutely.
In fact, you probably would want it to be.
Probably.
But the Vikings need a corner.
Badly.
Now, something we should mention. Our third-ranked corner hasn't gone yet.
No.
And Deonte Banks was our fourth or fifth. One or the other.
Probably my fourth.
Yeah.
No, he's not my fourth anymore.
But Deonte Banks has this prototypical size that you want. A little bit more raw, but Minnesota.
My fourth isn't in this first round.
Yeah. Minnesota needs a corner. This is where he's going. Let's move on to another trade, John.
With the 24th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars have made a trade and have moved down and pick swapped with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs with pick 24 select Quentin Johnston, wide receiver, TCU. The Chiefs need to leave this draft with a receiver in the top 2 rounds. They pretty much have to do that. They don't have one. And I know we all listen, they won the Super Bowl. Oh, we don't even need wide receivers. Why do we need them? Because you still need to give Patrick Mahomes someone to throw to. This is stupid. This could be a running back. It could have been. It could be Jahmyr Gibbs. That's been mocked. I've seen it. This could be an O lineman. It's been mocked. I've seen it. Broderick Jones is still on the board. Yeah, I understand that. I don't care. We're going off of what we've seen, and this is what we've seen. Shut up.
I hate this pick because
I don't like it either.
It's for me. I will say Kansas City has done so much homework on Zay Flowers. You should not be shocked if you see them make a large move.
A bigger leap.
Yeah. With the 25th pick, the New York Giants end the fall of Joey Porter Jr., corner, Penn State. Both the Giants and the next team, Dallas, have been doing a lot of homework on corners.
Tons of it.
Yeah. So I feel like this is the range we'll see our third corner go. Giants need a corner. They're in a division that includes Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown.
And that's just on one team.
And CeeDee Lamb.
That's on another team. And Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
And Curtis Samuel.
Gotta get a corner.
You need a corner. And listen, the Giants, you're so going in the right direction. Keep going in the right direction.
But why did they pay Daniel Jones?
Because it'll make it so much better when the Eagles kick the shit out of you. But keep trying.
Pick 26, the Dallas Cowboys select Broderick Jones, offensive tackle, Georgia. Why does this make sense, John?
This is such a prototype because Tyron Smith his contract ends at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Tyron Smith's contract is done at the end of the year. He'll be 34 with a stable, steady amount of injuries. And Tyron Smith's going to the Hall of Fame. There's no question. He's going to the Hall of Fame. But he's obviously lost steps. He has had trouble staying on the field. Last year, he missed a little bit of time. This is not the Tyron Smith he used to be. They lost Lyle Cut. What did you just say?
Nothing. I'll mention it at the end of the draft.
Okay.
Because it's something I would do, but not you would agree with.
Okay. Anyway, Broderick Jones falling to 26 seems to be like almost common for Broderick Jones at this point. Considering the fact that Darnell Wright we have here at 15, we've seen Wright end up in the 30s. What are you laughing at?
What I just noticed.
What did you notice?
No, I'll tell you at the end.
Did we screw something up colossally?
Not in my opinion.
Okay.
Talk about whatever you were talking about.
With the 27th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, I'm mad sus of teen right now.
Everyone else will notice too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I know.
Okay.
Pick 30.
No.
Oh. I'm at a loss.
Okay. Okay. We're good. This is fun. Who does Buffalo take at pick 27, John?
Osiris Torrance, offensive guard, Florida.
All right, I'll talk while you think. The Bills.
I'm actually mad, which like it doesn't matter. It would have been something I would have probably something I wanted to have happen in the first, but just isn't, which is fine.
The Buffalo Bills are pretty set on tackle. And we kind of wanted to give them a wide receiver. We don't value any of the wide receivers here. We kind of want to give them a corner, but they're pretty set at corner. They just got hurt. Hopefully it doesn't happen. If it does, they would pick one up in the second round anyways. Because Keely Ringo will be available in the second round. So Osiris Torrance fills a hole. Buffalo gets better. Cincinnati, John. I picked 28. The Cincinnati Bengals select Emmanuel Forbes, corner out of Mississippi State. A guy I like a hell lot more than you.
Yes.
Why do you hate him so much?
He's skinny.
He's so skinny.
So fucking skinny.
He'll gain some weight. They need a corner bad, and they've done a lot of work on corners. You would think a safety here. They don't seem to care.
I think I see the problem.
Yeah, now you do.
I pulled up a big board.
Yeah.
It is true though. It's the way it fell.
They don't.
A player that could go anywhere between like 15 and 50.
Yeah. They don't care about safeties. They spent no visits on safety.
So mad actually now.
At pick 30, John, how about you announce this one?
You skipped New Orleans.
Oh, well, don't worry. Everyone else will.
With the 29th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Kalijah Kancey, defensive tackle, Pitt. Well, here's the problem. Initially, it started to feel like he wasn't going to go in the first round.
At all.
He's a defensive tackle that weighs 280 pounds.
It's a problem.
That's a problem. That's a substantial problem.
But what school did he go to?
He went to Pitt.
Who else went to Pitt?
Aaron Donald went to Pitt.
Who else was that small in Pitt?
Not Aaron Donald, but he was smaller.
Yeah.
My point is that it took diving into who people were actually trying to do their homework on. Nobody did more work on Kalijah Kancey than New Orleans.
New Orleans is calling every coach.
They're on the phone now trying to do it.
Figuring out.
If they can get him.
Yeah.
They want Kalijah.
Yeah.
They may take him.
I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh coaches won't have a problem staking it for Kalijah Kancey.
I'm mad at this pick.
All right. At pick 30.
I'm saying it.
Okay.
With the 30th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, it appears that the Philadelphia Eagles may select, potentially, Jahmyr Gibbs, the halfback from Alabama.
And the stadium goes wild.
I am livid. There are so many other smarter fucking decisions to make.
Including one player who's not making it in our first round.
Notably, a trade down or Brian fucking Branch. But I don't need Branch. I guess we'll take a running back.
While we're here, Brian Branch fell out of our first round. Now, to me,
let's do one more pick, then we'll go to Brian Branch. Okay. We got one pick left. We'll talk about the guys.
The Jaguars, after trading with Kansas City, will select Anton Harrison, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. Why?
Reason we had to restart the show.
Why did we have to restart this show? Well, we originally wanted to give them a defensive tackle, and then they did what?
Oh, straight up, Jacksonville was taking Mozzie Smith here based on every bit of information we had.
Then they spent $18 million year one, $34 million total on Devon. What was his name?
Who gives a crap?
Devon Tomlinson, right?
I don't know.
Okay. On a defensive tackle.
I don't know. Don't care.
They spent a lot of money.
I don't know. Don't care. Ruin the last pick of the draft.
And then
Cam Robinson got suspended.
Robinson got suspended.
Cam Robinson was suspended for steroids immediately.
Yeah. So we have him taking an offensive tackle now.
I have to imagine tonight, Trent Baalke was sitting at home, counting all the stupid ass choices he's made in his life. Just snorting up a fat stack of Trayvon Walker and thinking when he saw the news that Cam Robinson was hit the juice, all of a sudden he looked at his big board and started sobbing.
Anton.
Because he wanted to take Mozzie.
Anton.
And instead takes Anton Harrison, who I honestly still have like a fringe 1 grade on, but I thought he was going to maybe slip out.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're Pittsburgh, nobody hates the suspension of Cam Robinson more than Pittsburgh right now. Because if you're Pittsburgh and you have to watch Anton Harrison go at 31, Mike Tomlin is going to start cracking skulls just for the fun of it because of it.
32, by the way, was Pittsburgh. Anton Harrison.
They were taking Anton. But now they're not because Cam Robinson was a bad boy.
Let's talk about Brian Branch, though.
Yeah.
I had a second-round grade on Brian Branch.
Branch, listen, the news on Brian Branch is odd.
The news is late 1.
Late 1. But a lot of the other news is stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, and this is weird, the news reflects that Joey Porter isn't draftable. But he, of course, is.
The news also reflects that Kalijah Kancey has no questions to answer because no one's asking them.
Yeah, Kalijah Kancey has met with no one.
Yeah.
But we almost had him out of this round.
Isn't it funny how instead of just having a meeting with Kancey, New Orleans now in the 11th hour, like, tell me about him, tell me about him, tell me.
Now, yeah, it was like, could have been with Kalijah Kancey, or now you're just like, I must know everything. I need to do what Joe Douglas just did with the offensive line. And I need to do it double time in the middle of the night.
Dennis Allen just found out about Kalijah Kancey.
I need to do it in the middle of the night, naked. Dennis Allen sitting in a room, buck ass naked, just screaming through highlights of Kalijah Kancey and figuring out if 6'1", 281 is too small to play defensive tackle in the NFC South.
He gets up and he does the 6'1" body.
He screams to the sky, for he does not know.
Reggie! Tell me!
Tell me anything!
I brought back Derek. What do I do now?
I love how this started as like a nice critical discussion about draft compensation, and now I've made it about Dennis Allen's perceived nudity. You know, like a normal show.
Yeah. Russell Wilson flipped over a golf cart. I just want to bring that up. Yeah. I just want to bring that up.
How do you even do that?
Sean Payton responded by saying they won't have golf carts at training camp.
Good. I love the Broncos' tenure of Sean Payton is already weird as shit. It's already dumb. Anyway, you didn't hear us talk about Denver. You didn't hear us talk about Denver tonight. They don't have a pick. You didn't hear us talk about Miami tonight. They don't have a pick. You didn't hear us talk about the Niners tonight. They don't pick till 99.
Yeah, by the way, we're watching the draft with Niner fans.
Yeah, and we're going to taunt them the whole night. We're going to have fun, and they're not. We're going to have fun until the Eagles take Bijan and the Raiders take Levis.
If the Raiders take Levis, I'm not coming on the show.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
You won't be. You're not allowed to skip the show.
We'll show the camera, and I'll be collapsed on the floor. I'll be in the corner, like Alex was.
Like Dennis Allen. Like Dennis Allen while watching Kalijah Kancey. Buck ass naked in the rain, arms to the sky. Kalijah!
All right, we will talk to you guys tomorrow night. Can you believe
That's our draft.
God bless Chris Editor.
Chris Editor, good luck, good night, and good luck. Guys, enjoy the first round. We'll be back with you tomorrow night. And or I guess tomorrow morning. You're hearing this show on Thursday morning. So we'll talk to you Friday morning. And may the football gods have mercy on your soul.
Not your soul. I need the mercy.
Yeah, we
Give
both.
it to
Well,
me.
I don't need much mercy.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm winning the conference again anyway.
Go to hell. You're going. Go to football hell.
I'm gonna win. I'm gonna get Jalen Carter, and so it's beautiful. The one thing I've learned today is that it is a very real possibility the Eagles end up with either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter on the roster by the end of tomorrow night. It's possible. Likely, no. Possible, very much so. It's fun.
Listen, at this point, as long as it's not Will Levis, I think I'm okay.
I agree. If I draft anyone other than Will Levis, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
Including a quarterback.
It's a quarterback factory.
It's a quarterback factory. The new model always needs to be made. We're like Apple. We've got the next model ready. We're just not going to give it to you.
Are you going to include USB-C this time?
Fuck no. We're not going to include legs. We're going to draft Hendon Hooker, who, by the way, took the field today.
Yeah, and ACL looks good.
Hence the 16th pick.
Good night, guys.
See you guys tomorrow.